What's up, YouTube? It's Joel. The bipartisan bill has actually passed the Senate, and it's on its way to the House of Representatives with Nancy Pelosi as the leader. Big stimulus is coming. We've got Chuck Schumer, who is ready to fast track this bill through and get it to Biden's desk. And at the same time, you got a ton of senators that are preparing the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill with more stimulus for all. Kids, adults, and seniors. We've got Bernie Sanders, who says we got the votes to make it happen for another 4 stimulus check, so we have a timeline and dates for when you can see this hit your bank account. I have big news for those that are getting the monthly stimulus checks for the child tax credits from the Biden administration that you're going to love. We do have huge news that Biden has extended the pause on federal student loans, and more good news to come with that. If you're looking for student loan cancellations, we also have some very good news that is pertaining to the U.S. employers in the job market that added 943,000 jobs in the month of July. So we're going to talk about that and what it means for our economy and stimulus. But this is your stimulus and economic news update, and I hope you're having a great day. But I just want to say we got a big goal to hit. We're trying to reach 55,000 subscribers, and then I'm going to give away another $500 on this channel when we do it. So in order to qualify, all you have to do is these 3 simple things. Number 1, click the like button for this video down below. Number 2, be subscribed or subscribe to the channel. And number 3, comment on this video on a topic that we talk about. So the Senate has passed the bipartisan bill with a 67-27 vote during this weekend session. The legislation needed 60 votes to move forward, and 18 Republicans, including the leader, the Senate Minority Leader, Mitch McConnell, who joined with the Democrats to actually get the bill passed, one of the final hurdles within the Senate to get it moved over to the House of Representatives. Now it's heading over to the House, but this is something where it's going to get a little crazy, but we're going to talk about it in just a moment. But Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate, said, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Yesterday, it appeared that some Republicans would like to do it the hard way. So basically, he's saying that it's his way or no way. Democrats are ready and willing to vote on the additional amendments to the bill before moving to the final passage. But once again, that will require that they get some cooperation from some of the Republicans. He said, I hope they will cooperate so that we can move more quickly. Otherwise, we'll proceed by the book and finish the bill. In any case, we'll keep proceeding until we get this bill done. So we are moving in the direction to get things done as fast as possible because we're on a tight deadline. So the amendments that they're talking about, this is where you got a ton of progressives that are in the House, that are in the Senate, that want to make changes to the bill to make it larger and to get more things done. They want to add more for all. Progressives see this as the opportunity to get a lot of things done off their list. They want to increase and give out some more money to our seniors, especially those on Social Security, SSI, and SSDI. They want to give them a huge increase because the average right now is $794. They want to raise everyone up to at least receiving $1,341 per month, which is a huge, phenomenal increase. But they want to expand Medicare to include dental, hearing, and vision into the Medicare program, and actually to lower the Medicare eligibility age from 65 to 60. And that's just scratching the surface. But now the bipartisan bill heads to the House. And this is where everything is going to come together, because now we have Nancy Pelosi, who is the leader of the House, who said she would not bring the bipartisan bill to the floor to get voted on, even if it got passed in the Senate, because they don't have the reconciliation bill just yet. So now we already have those working that on the big reconciliation bill, the $3.5 trillion stimulus bill, to get it passed through reconciliation. And some are saying that there wouldn't be much amendments to the bipartisan bill because whatever they want to add, they'll just add it to the reconciliation bill. so that they can get these bills passed quickly. Because with the reconciliation bill, they don't need no Republicans. They can do it with just the Democrats alone. But progressives want to add a direct stimulus check payment to the reconciliation bill, and have said that they won't move forward with the bipartisan bill until they see the reconciliation bill get passed in the Senate. And they want to give every adult that makes $75,000 or less a $1,200 stimulus check and $600 to every child. Now, this to a lot of progressives is non-negotiable, and they want to see more stimulus checks sent out. With the new way things are going, with Schumer just getting things fast-tracked through the Senate, and then having Nancy Pelosi and having the majority with Democrats in the House, they're going to get this done. Now, Schumer's planning on getting this reconciliation bill passed in the next couple of weeks. So that shows us that we could see the stimulus checks actually being sent out in the third week of September, between September 13th and September 17th, being sent to Americans. With that, Bernie Sanders has said that they have the votes in the House to get the huge $1 trillion bill passed. And this will bring the huge stimulus to a ton of people that have been waiting for a while to see it. This is for, like I said, the Democrat-only bill. Republicans have already said that they are not going to support it or vote for it. So this is where Democrats don't need them. They can do it all by themselves. But Biden said the bipartisan infrastructure deal with the reconciliation bill will create good-paying union jobs, repairing our roads and bridges, replacing lead pipes, and building energy transmission lines, and we can't afford not to do it. We can't just build back to the way things were before COVID-19. We have to build back better. The bipartisan infrastructure deal and my Build Back Better plan will grow our economy. He's referring to the reconciliation plan, the reconciliation bill that has the American Families Plan and more of the infrastructure plan in there as well, and creating an average of 2 million good-paying jobs every year over the next decade. So with this, another huge stimulus news for those that are receiving the monthly stimulus checks for the child tax credit. The $300 that's going for kids that are 5 and under, and $250 for kids between the ages of 6 and 17. Now, this is literally doing a lot for families because, for one, it was increased from $2,000 per child to $3,600 per child. So that's a ton of extra money. But this is only for this year, and then it's supposed to go back to before. But that's where we have some differences with the reconciliation bill coming into play, because they want to make it permanent. President Biden called on Congress to extend the child tax credit expansion past its December expiration date, arguing that it has the potential to reduce child poverty in America significantly. We even had a senior administration official who said the goal of this is not just to be 1 year. I think that people have somewhat different legislative strategies, but I think that every advocate has the same goal, that we want this to be ultimately permanent. There's no disagreement on that. The ultimate goal is for this to go on indefinitely, so that parents can always have those stimulus checks coming each month for those kids to make sure that they have everything they need. So this is definitely good news for parents and for kids. The more we can do for our own, especially when it comes to the future generations of America, our kids, the better. But now we have more good news for those that are on federal student loans. The U.S. Department of Education announced that the federal student loan payments will remain on pause, so you don't have to pay them, through the end of January 31st, 2022. Before this announcement, the payments were actually going to start back in October, but now it's been extended for essentially another 4 months to give people and the Education Department more time to prepare, but the department did say this would be the final extension. U.S. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said the payment pause has been a lifeline that allowed millions of Americans to focus on their families, health, and finances instead of student loans during the national emergency. As our nation's economy continues to recover from this deep hole, this final extension will give students and borrowers the time they need to plan for restart and ensure a smooth pathway back to repayment. So borrowers do have more time, but a lot are actually looking for some cancellations of their federal student loans. Senate leader Chuck Schumer said that Biden can cancel $50,000 in federal student loans per borrower as an executive order, and Elizabeth Warren is backing him up on that statement. The average student loan payment right now is around $400, and this would significantly reduce the number of people that actually owe student loans if he did this by almost 90%. If this were to happen, Chuck Schumer has his reconciliation bill that is about to come up in the Senate, and a lot of progressives are ready to include this in the huge $1 trillion bill. But more people are concerned about the future of federal student loans and would like to see the program revamped, redone, so that we don't end up with another $1.7 trillion in student loan debt if they were to forgive most of the current debt. So this is definitely good news for those that have federal student loans. But to add that we really have some good news for all Americans and our economy, because the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported the U.S. economy added 943,000 jobs in July, and the unemployment rate fell to 5.4%, which is a new low for this pandemic era. Now, in this chart, you can see where we took that huge dip from the pandemic and all those jobs were lost, but we are working our way back up, which is awesome because that means more people are able to get back to their normal lives of having that income coming in. Getting back to where we were prior to the pandemic is the goal. Our economy was booming and unemployment was at its lowest in over 50 years, as you can see in this chart. But businesses are trying to staff and even offering higher than normal wages for jobs, but a lot of people are still concerned over the fears from the virus, and there's still a lot of childcare issues with getting the kids watched while people go back to work, which they're trying to deal with and still work out. But even as we continue to get our economy back into shape, a lot of lawmakers still say we're in recovery mode and we need to keep putting more gas on the fire within this recovery mode to get us to where we're at before the pandemic in terms of our economy and people. So we're still going to see a lot of stimulus and a lot of money being spent in the next few weeks with these new bills that are about to come out, the reconciliation bill and the bipartisan bill. But all in all, we are heading in the right direction as we come together and unite to take care of our people and our country. This is how we take back control from the virus and overcome this, by doing it together, by working together. But let me know your thoughts about all this down in the comment section, and we'll talk about it from there. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all stimulus and economic news that affects you and learn how to build some wealth. This is Joel with True Life Investing. Until next time, peace out.